Hi, my name's Craig Waters. I'm working the Solutions Engineering team here at Pure Storage, and today what I wanted to do is just walk through the Cisco Inter-Site integration. So just to give you a quick overview, Cisco Inter-Site is a cloud-based management product, very similar to what the capabilities of Pure One do from a storage perspective. Cisco Inter-Site does from a Cisco device perspective. So think of Cisco UCS servers, Cisco MDS switches, fabric switches, and then Cisco Nexus switching as well. And the whole idea is to provide a simplified management plane for all those physical devices. And the great thing about cloud-based management product is that you as an end consumer of the service can manage devices that are geographically dispersed across the world through a single interface using, in this case, Cisco Inter-Site. So what we did at Pure Storage is we built a device connector for Cisco Inter-Site that connects FlashArray into Cisco Inter-Site and allows you to use Cisco Inter-Site to provide a bunch of different things. So one of the key features is that we obviously support all the different versions of FlashArray and Purity today. What we've done as well is we've exposed the FlashArray object model. So if you think of it from a hardware perspective, it'd be things like direct flash modules, it'd be NVRAM modules, it would be controllers, those sort of things, chassis, but also, from a software perspective as well. So if you look at Purity and you think of things like host groups, volume, snapshot, all that inventory is actually being presented within Cisco Inter-Site. And we've also got health status against those hardware components as well. So we can still monitor the health status of things like a controller availability or a flash module. What's really interesting with Cisco Inter-Site is this ability to do active management. And what that basically means is that in exposing that object model into Inter-Site, it means that we can build quite complex workflows using an orchestration engine to manage those components, to deploy, configure, maintain across different configuration components as well. So think of things from a server hardware perspective like Cisco UCS, from a storage perspective obviously with Pure Storage, but also from a hypervisor perspective as well like VMware vSphere. So it means we can kind of bring all that together and we can kind of build quite complex workflows across those different components. And I'll talk again in a minute just on the next slide about what the details are of those tasks that have been exposed and what those workflows are that have been built. So as part of this slide, we're actually in a beta process with Cisco Inter-Site at the moment. That happened back in July 2019, and it's expected to go between 8 and 12 weeks. So we're thinking of a time frame around November 2019. It's open to any customer right now that has Essentials licensing for Cisco Inter-Site. Also, if you're using Basic, which is a free version, you won't be able to utilize it, but we can actually go and subscribe. If you go to intersight.com, you can log in with your Cisco ID and you can automatically claim a device and get a 90-day all-you-can-eat evaluation license of Cisco Inter-Site. And that'll give you plenty of time to kind of kick the tires and determine how Inter-Site works and what the value is for you as a customer. The architecture that we've built for Inter-Site is quite interesting. We've actually provided the FlashArray device connector and it's wrapped into a virtual appliance, and Cisco kind of termed this as being the Intersight Assist virtual appliance. That appliance exists on premises. You download that via an OVA that you then go and deploy internally in your infrastructure, and that really acts as like a proxy between all your local devices that you want to connect up. So in this case it's FlashArray, but it could also be vSphere, vCenter. We connect those up using the Intersight Assist, and then like a 443 SSL, like secure socket layer connections made into Cisco Inter-Site to actually be able to conduit between what's running on premises and then what's running in the SaaS model, and actually enables you to manage systems locally. So just to kind of walk through briefly what the Intersight Active Management actually consists of, what we've done at Pure Storage is we've gone and created all the tasks that are required to manage FlashArray from a day-to-day basis. And that could be from a volume perspective, create, resize, copy, destroy. From a host perspective, being able to create and delete, but also connect WWNs or IQNs from a server to a volume. We also have the ability to create and delete host groups. So we'd recommend if you're creating a cluster volume where that volume is being presented to multiple hosts, you can connect up a host group and then they all get the same LUN ID. We can also manipulate protection groups as well. They can not just be host protection groups, but also target and volume protection groups, and snapshots too. So we can schedule snapshots, we can create them, we can destroy them, we can disable them. And then also some of the newer features of Purity 5, for example, so we can manipulate active cluster pods. And then finally, if you're looking at virtual volumes or vvols from VMware, we've got the ability to manipulate volume groups, which are basically logical representations of vvols. So all those tasks we've put together in conjunction with tasks from vSphere and also from UCS servers, and then we've kind of built some fairly comprehensive workflows. These are constantly under development, so we've got about 7 or 8 basic ones that we've created initially as part of the beta, but we'll have more workflows that are developed over time. So we wanted to do some very simple storage administrative management. We can do things like create VMFS data stores. That sounds fairly trivial, but what we have to do is we have to create a volume on the array, give it a size, give it a name. Then we have to present that volume to a collection of hosts, and then we need to rescan the HBAs of that host so they can actually see those volumes. And at that point, we have to format the volume with a VMFS file system, and then that's presented to the host ready to actually deploy a virtual machine on. And what we can also do from workflows is add a host to a FlashArray, remove or delete a host from a FlashArray. We can actually create host groups, add hosts to those host groups, rename them, delete them. We can actually remove a FlashArray host from a host group as well. And then finally, another example of the workflows is actually being able to deploy an OVF or an OVA from vSphere. So that includes, deploying the VM on a volume and then some configuration around that VM. So that's the end of the introduction. Thanks for your time. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks.